Hello and welcome to the eMedNI computer-based training series for New York State Medicaid providers. This video is part of our ePACES series of tutorials. The purpose of this session is to familiarize providers with the ePACES dispensing validation system, request and response for durable medical equipment. To request an ePACES DVS authorization, go to the eMedNI website at www.emedny.org. From the emedny.org homepage, select Login ePACES. Please note that access to ePACES requires enrollment. Contact the eMedNI call center at 800-343-9000 to enroll in ePACES. Enter your username and password on the ePACES login screen. Read and then check that you have read and agree to the Medicaid confidentiality regulations, then click Agree, Login. The left side of the ePACES home screen displays the available functions. Under the PA-DVS section, click Initial Request. The PA-DVS Initial Request window will open, and you will begin by entering the client ID in the field labeled Enter a client ID. The client ID is 2 letters, 5 numbers, and a letter and is located on the member's New York State Medicaid card. Enter the client ID and then press Go. To request a DVS authorization for DME, select Non-Dental DVS in the Transaction Type field. The procedure code in the DME Provider Manual is preceded by a hashtag #. The fee schedule indicates a PA code of 6. Leave the provider service address and contact information sections blank for a DME DVS request. A referring provider is required when the client is a restricted recipient. For additional information about the restricted recipient program, refer to the DME Policy and Procedure Code Manual at emedny.org. An ordering provider is required on all DME DVS requests. There are 3 ways of entering the ordering provider. Under Select a Name, a previously added provider can be chosen by clicking on the name. Searching for providers can be done either by typing the last name of the provider or the NPI or MMIS provider numbers. Once a name has been selected or a name or provider number has been entered, click Go. In the Event Information section, select Professional Dental for the facility type by clicking on the radio button. The next required field is the service type. Enter the appropriate service type number for the DME service for which you are getting a DVS. Service type code 12 is used for durable medical equipment purchases and service type code 18 for durable medical equipment rentals. Under Release of Information, pick the appropriate option to indicate whether the provider has a signed statement by the patient authorizing the release of medical data. Leave the remaining fields in the Event Information and Diagnosis sections blank. Leave the Pattern of Delivery, Home Oxygen Therapy, and Home Healthcare sections blank for a DME DVS request. Leave the Attachments, Certification Category, Condition Codes, and Comments sections blank and click Next. Enter the service date in the From field. The format, 2-digit month, 2-digit day, and 4-digit year, may be entered in the field or selected from the calendar available to the right. A DVS request requires the current date and not a past or future date. NDC, Proc and Modifiers field. Enter the 5-digit procedure HCPCS code and, when applicable, 2-digit modifiers. Enter the unit count service quantity. Do not change the unit measurement. Enter the submitted charge in the line amount field. Note, $0 is a valid charge amount. Click Submit. The screen will refresh and a Request Submitted message will appear. To view ePACES DVS responses, select Responses from the PA-DVS section. Examples of DVS response action codes. A1. certified in total. All requested services units are authorized. A3, not certified. Requested services units are not authorized. When A3 is received, review the response descriptive text to identify the error. C. Canceled. The DVS has been canceled. CT. Contact payer at 800-343-9000 for additional information. NA. No action required. Authorization unnecessary for service requested. Action codes and response descriptive text. When action code A3 is received in a DVS response transaction, it is accompanied by a healthcare services decision reason code in the response descriptive text field. The codes most used by New York State Department of Health are listed below. Examples include 0Q, duplicate request. The entered transaction is a duplicate of a previously submitted and approved DVS transaction. 0Y, service inconsistent with patient's age. The member's age is below the minimum allowable age or exceeds the maximum allowable age for the procedure code entered. 12. Patient is restricted to specific provider. The ordering provider entered is not the provider the member is restricted to, or the field was left blank. 25. Services were not considered due to other errors in the request. There are errors on the request. Submit a new DVS request. The next slides show examples of ePACES DVS responses. This slide shows examples of action code A3 not certified, along with the response descriptive text, and A1, certified in total. The review ID number is the DVS number to be entered on the DME claim. Click on the client ID number to access the DVS response detail screen. The DVS response detail screen includes the client information with the client ID, name, gender, and date of birth. The transaction type in this example, non-dental DVS, the response action code A1 certified in total, and the issue date, effective date, and expiration date of the DVS request. The 11-digit number under review ID is the DVS number for the claim. Please note that the service delivery must occur between the effective date and the expiration date of the DVS authorization. For additional information regarding ePACES and the dispensing validation system for DME, please visit the emedne.org website and reference the Durable Medical Equipment Provider Manual and the ePACES PA DVS reference sheets. For further assistance, please contact the eMedne call center at 800-343-9000. This concludes our ePACES DVS request and response for DME tutorial. Thank you for joining, and please visit us at www.emedne.org for additional training resources.